everyone. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was so focused on the whole logistics of getting the whole recording setup going that I forgot to think of what I was going to say before I click record. And at this point, I feel like if I stop recording, I will lose all momentum. So I'm just gonna wing it. It's what I've always done. Nothing's changed, even though it's been like 3 years since I've made a video. Okay, not that long, but like, I haven't been consistently making videos since the pandemic began, so that was like 3 years ago. Well, anyway, I originally meant to make this video and start having it up at the beginning of the year, on close to the start of January. And then I immediately got sick for 2 weeks, and everything's been hectic here. So, better late than never. It's before the end of the month at least, so that's there. But hi, I'm not dead. I'm just in a different place, and I've been trying to muster together the things I need to do to make videos again, because I've missed it a lot, and I loved doing this. And when I kind of moved down here to San Francisco to be with my girlfriend, I lost my setup that I had, and I've been kind of like, oh, I need to put together a set, and once I have together a set, I'll start making videos again. But then, one thing leads to another. We've been rearranging the whole home nonstop for the last 2 years, and it just hasn't gotten around. I still don't really have a set. I have an idea of what I want to do, especially with back there. Ignore the completely mess of bookshelves. That's like 50% books and 50% Lego. That's gonna be made nice and rearranged. I'm thinking about having something shot back towards that way. That wall is a bit plain. I want to get some art or something for that thing right there. I gave thought to maybe making the bed a little bit nicer because I was recording, but then I was lazy and didn't. So that didn't happen. And why is my hair? My hair keeps doing this thing where it's like, comes down here and then turns down there. It's like, I don't want this hard angle. Like, just do a nice soft curve. That's not bad. I'm thinking about getting my hair cut, and I'm thinking about trying out bangs. And I don't know why I'm saying this here, but honestly, when I do these just not specific videos, this channel is just my journal anyway, so I don't care. But yeah, so I'm back, and I hopefully will be consistently back. And I am just as scatterbrained as I used to be. Right now, my goal is to get back to making videos once a week. I know back in the day I was making them 3 times a week, and I'm going to be taking this one step at a time. My idea generally is that for the time being, it's just going to be kind of whatever I want to, not a specific theme because it's only 1 video a week. But I'm thinking about going for Saturday releases for those videos, or as soon as it's uploaded and finished for those of you who still support me on Patreon. Yeah! Being a content creator and all that. If you haven't been part of the Discord, which, check that out, it's still fairly active, not as much as it used to because someone stopped making videos for several years. But it's still fairly active, and I'm there, and there's a cool community and all that. But on the Discord, there was an announcement that I essentially am prepping for this. I was prepping this over the course of December, and then I got sick and haven't actually made a video until now. So I had been doing that. The Patreon got simplified. There's just 1 tier now. It's $5. It gets you the early access to the videos. It gets you access to the private stuff on Discord. If I do community videos at any point, it'll be part of that too. I'm just keeping it nice and simple. It doesn't need to be complex. And honestly, at this point, I don't want to call the people who give me money weird, but it is a little weird because I have not made content, and I have not proven that I'm going to be consistently making content, so yeah, you're not going to get big push and speaking being like, yes, give me money. But I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just rambling now. Hi, I'm out of practice at this, if you cannot notice. But as I was saying, like 3 topics ago, I'm going to be doing 1 video a week. I'm aiming for Saturday releases, which this should be good to come out on Saturday. I just heard a thing turn off. I don't know how bad the ambience here is, like, in terms of this apartment complex. I'll find out when I edit. But yeah, so that's just gonna be kind of thing. And if I can consistently get 1 video a week for a few months, I'll start looking at upping that to 2. It'll probably be 1 video and then like the odd extra one before I ramp up to a proper 2. And when I do that, it'll probably be more kind of specialized, where I might do a thing along. I need to fix this chair. This fixed chair is, every time I wiggle, will make random noise. Like, fortunately that wasn't a big pop, but sometimes it's really loud and it makes me jump out of my skin, which then causes the chair to make even more noise. But I'm doing like this sort of thing, and I need to get that fixed, so I'll tell Miranda to take a look at that. Wow, I am very scattered right now. But when I do something like that, kind of like doing something like, here's 1 general video and then 1 dedicated ASMR video. I mean, I want to get back into making ASMR. I still love ASMR. This is what this channel started as. I mean, even when I was actually making videos, it would have been a while since I'd started making, like, done, like, proper, like, this is an ASMR video intended for ASMR. Mostly incidental stuff. And it's probably going to be keeping the fact that, like, I'm going to be doing not exclusively ASMR content, but there is going to be an extent of, ASMR friendly content where there's not going to be, you know, sudden noises or things like that. And I still lean into the kind of explanation triggers, which I've always liked and always have been focusing on as the kind of the main trigger thing. What did I do with my part? Like, why is it veering off like that? Like, I hate my part. That's kind of one of the reasons I'm gonna have bangs. I mean, I think it would also be cute, especially with some of my new style stuff that I've switched to in the last couple of years. I'll do more videos about that when I actually do more stuff. I didn't actually pay attention much to what I was wearing, but this is pretty standard fare from what you're used to. It's that same cloak. It's one of the green tops I used to have. It's not exactly new, but actually a lot of my wardrobe is different now. But yeah. Wow, scattered. ASMR, yeah. Some of the stuff will just still be ASMR friendly. I will probably note it in the video title or pretty higher up in the description, or otherwise verbally say, hey, this isn't going to be ASMR friendly at the start of the video, if it isn't going to be an ASMR video. So for that, it's kind of status quo of my videos will be ASMR friendly, so you can put them off if you like the explanation triggers for various things and I'm like rambling about tabletop RPGs or whatnot. And not have to worry about that I'm not going to randomly start screaming or something like that. But I'll let you know if that ever isn't the case, but that's what I did before. But, so the value being the Saturday videos are just going to be kind of what comes to mind, because right now it's just, my main goal is getting back in the habit of making videos. I enjoy doing it, but path of least resistance is best, for that sort of thing. So it's going to be, what do I feel like, what comes to mind, and I'll make the videos there. So, yeah, but down the road, if I can get that, I want to start doing more, have a dedicated slot every week, or at least a dedicated slot every month. That is, this is ASMR. Like, you know, every other week, there's going to be, you know, a dedicated ASMR, whether roleplay or triggers or whatnot video. Because I like to do that. And, I mean, they'll also be in these slots of these kind of, like, random slots. Let me know if there's actually any, like, videos, like old or new, like style that you'd like to see in the coming weeks, because I do have a very old videos ideas sheet, and I mean, I have updated stuff I have, but I don't know, people who are still clicking on videos of mine, I hope that beeping doesn't pick up too much, but it's ambience. Enjoy the San Francisco ambience that I provide now. words that mean things. Recording in the city is going to be a lot more annoying than recording in a random suburb. I am realizing. And I could be recording at night, but the lighting is better. And that's the big thing for me, is that the lighting isn't great. Because I had my old lighting kit. Because if you have my old room, where this was the wall that you saw the thing recording on, I had my bed, my desk, but then there was space back here that I had my lighting kit that was pointing there. But now my desk is up against a wall, and there's no good place to put this rather large lighting kit. Currently I'm using natural lighting for the room, and I have a ring light pointed at me, because otherwise I'd be on shadow. And this works alright, but it's not a lighting system that allows for a lot of mobility. Especially if I want to start shooting further, like camera angle, like around here towards there, or there. I don't know. I'll figure it out. It's not an issue. It's just those big lights, like, it's not like they're not easy to like just put up and set up. Come on upstairs, people. It's just the drain. You get the San Francisco outside ambience and the ambience of living in this apartment complex. I'm not going to edit that out because I still am very lazy and don't like editing. So unless there's going to be something that like is actually actively like a loud noise, it's not going to happen. Especially even then, like hours of the day isn't great because the upstairs people have a dog and it is up at weird hours and you'll hear it scattering about. So that's not even a recording at night thing that will help. Wow, I am just meandering through topics. What else? I'm making videos. I'm back. I'm not dead. Yeah, that's I mean, in terms of things I'm into these days, like it's kind of the same status I was back when I kind of stopped making videos as much, where I'm like, I am not as engaged with Magic these days. I got a bit more engaged after like Throwsbound Death and whatnot, but it just hasn't clicked for me in a while. Mostly just because I haven't been to in-person events in a while, and when I lose the in-person drafts and pre-releases and things like that, which is still not safe for my family to go to, thanks pandemic and lackluster response to pandemic. That is also not something I'm looking to argue about in anywhere. So if you make any comments about the pandemic not being real or bad thing, I will just delete your comments on the video and whatever. I don't care. I'm not interested in debating that. I mean, I'm seldom interested in debating anything when it comes to serious issues like that, where it's like the comments of my videos is not the forum for that, and I will just delete your stuff. But I don't know why I went to that. So I'm also coming off of a pain cycle right now, so I'm also still like a little bit like tired and a little bit worn out from being in pain for the last couple days. So some of my scatterbrainedness is probably due to that. But this is also just me. What else though? Yeah, no, but I mean, I haven't played any D&D or other tabletop RPGs in a while, and I know there's been like a lot of drama lately in the last month for that Sinosphere. But I mean, I do want to do more stuff like that. Still a huge thing. It's something my Garotto friend has done forever as well. But in regards to Magic, I'm not going to stop making Magic content, but there's not going to be as much of it because it's just I'm not currently as engaged with that. I mean, obviously if I do, because it's like at the end of the day, my channel is just Lily talks about the things that she likes and is into. So things you'll probably get to see of, I've been gotten a lot more into sewing since then, so probably I would love to figure out a setup to do some sewing videos. Gabriel and finally might get you that cloak making video. You've only been asking for like 5 years. But once I can get a setup for that, because that's out in the living room that I usually do that, because not to get the dining room, because the dining table's the only table we have that's big enough to cut a lot of this fabric. And I'll just have to figure out how to do a recording setup. I really what I need to do is get a mobile recording setup, like an actual video camera and mic that isn't attached to my computer, because that will give me more variance in where I can record and how I can record. I could even do, vlogs when I'm out and about and doing things. And I would like to do that. And I don't know, I mean, I'm still not gonna, like, it's one of those things where, like, my idea for, like, what I want the channel to be is, I mean, it was kind of like, I've talked, like, before, it was kind of like, I talk about nerdy things in an ASMR-friendly manner and things like that. But I might be just expanding this, and, like, this is just kind of, like, my general vlog channel where I talk about things that I like and whatnot, where the format is more or less the same, but there might be less of a focus on specifically nerdy things. Not that there's could be any less, because I am still a huge nerd and like those things and want to talk about those things, but you might also get things where me talking about sewing and fashion and that sort of other spheres that I like, and art and all that. And of course my programming. I'm going to be doing a lot more talking about my programming, what I've been working on that. I have a actual game, which should... Calling it a game is maybe a loose definition. It's art. Maybe. It's more of a framework for games, but the framework in the first few games should be coming out in soon. I have no idea. I've run into so many complications. I was hoping you have it by the new year. And yeah, that didn't happen. Between craziness of life and also so many bugs and issues with trying to port it to a web page format. But hopefully that will be out soon for free on Itch. But I will be doing some more talking about that. Talking about Liberating the Dill hasn't gone anywhere. I'm still working on that. It's just a big project and it's gonna take a while. But other than that, yeah, that's kind of the thing. I don't know why I stretched this, hey, I'm not dead, I'm gonna start making videos game into 17 minutes. But here I am. You don't... If you're new to the channel, I'm like, how did you find this? How does this have any sort of SEO? But, I mean, if you've been here for a while, you know what you came for. And that's Lily rambling and endlessly probably should be editing and then doesn't edit. Want to get back on the videos. I also want to get back into streaming at some point, but that is not a huge priority for me. It was never a huge priority for me anyway. It was like, I'm like, I want to stream and do some stuff with people. But that isn't necessarily what I would be, like, focusing on. So, yeah. Well, I don't have that much else to say. I hope all of you are well. I hope all of you have been able to stay as safe and healthy as you can over the last few years, which have been rather hard. My health has not been the greatest in the last few years in terms of just dealing with ongoing issues and all that. And I might talk about that more, because just dealing with the fact that my day-to-day life has gotten so hard with my ongoing chronic pain, and mentally I'm in a much better state where I'm not dealing with the constant depression and all that. I mean, I've come a long way since 2017, which is maybe when the channel started, where, I was making videos every week until one week I wasn't, because I was spending that week at a psych ward at a hospital because I had tried to kill myself. But I didn't mean to get that heavy all of a sudden, but in that regard, I'm doing a lot better. I'm doing so much better. My partner, my family here are so supportive and so loving and kind, and I'm in a much better place on that regard. But physically I am struggling a lot with day-to-day chronic pain and all that stuff. And I don't know what that would look like, but it's something I do want to talk more about and how that struggle is, because I don't know, it would feel weird not to, because it is so much of my life. Like, I mean, if this could be a vlog and a reflectment, like this whole channel, it could be, this should, not like all the private, intimate details of my life and all that, but like, it would be weird to leave that out of the picture, because that's so much of my life. That's so much of my day-to-day is counting down the days till I know my pain's gonna flare up again. It gets bad. Honestly, it used to be every few weeks, but now it's becoming every week, where it'll flare up and get bad and be agonizing, and I can barely do anything, and it'd be weird to not talk about that. I mean, it's not gonna be constantly that, because let's be honest, that'd be a downer. I'm not coming here to just talk about, how much I hurt all the time, but it will come up. And I do want to talk about that. I don't know how I want to address that or how I want to talk about that, but it'll probably be something I talk about, because it's part of who I am, unfortunately. But yeah. One of these days I might be able to convince my girlfriend to appear in a video. Or at the very least, I don't know, there's some content that I would like to make that's kind of like, collaborative stuff with some friends of mine that we've talked about things that we want to make. I don't know, how would people feel about that? Like, videos that aren't just me in it, because I don't know if I've had anyone ever appear in another one of my videos other than myself. That would be a change. It would definitely be one of the ones where it's like these vlogs where I'm talking about these and would never take the place of them. I don't know, I have friends that would be like, it's like, hey, I could do this discussion and talk about how, I mean, my, friend Shalena earlier, like, the other day we were talking about, like, our issues with the Guild Wars 2 story, and I could make a video talking about, like, what are my issues, or maybe we could do something collaborative. Don't mean to sign you up, Shalena. You don't watch my videos. It would be kind of weird if you did, but not to sign up with you, but just, how would people feel about, like, hey, I'm gonna hang out with my friend, and we're gonna talk about a thing that Lily would otherwise talk about? But yeah. Other than that, yeah, don't let me know what kind of videos you might want to see in the near future, in the coming weeks and months. And I can't wait to be doing this more consistently. Things have finally come together. There might be a short interlude or a week I might not make it in the coming weeks, because I do need to do a reset of my computer, because in general Windows entropy, and also I just got I got a bigger SSD, because originally when I built this computer, it was an SSD and a standard hard drive. And I just had the SSD, which was a smaller one, just from my boot drive and most of my data on the hard drive. Recently, a couple of years ago when I moved here, one of my family here was very kind and was like, you can do better, and got me 2 1TB SSDs for the computer. And I need to move the OS to one of those, and there are ways to just move what is existing on the standard SSD to that one and redirect everything to that and do that. But I probably should do a complete clean of the computer. So I'm going to be doing a reset of the computer, so that might knock things off of a week, but it should be a week at most. And honestly, for something like that, I'll just make sure it gets over there, but there might be a slightly hiccup in a few weeks' time. But yeah, so that's all. Thank you for watching. Thanks for those who've, stuck with me and through these last few years. It's been hard. And I've missed doing this. And I'm looking forward to getting back into it. Well, until next week. May your story smile upon you.